Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at the top two defensemen in this year's NHL entry draft class. You've got Jake Sanderson and Jamie Drysdale. We'll be looking at the two head-to-head, comparing them, and who we think will be first off the board in the 2020 NHL entry draft. We're taking a look at that in this video. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. And let's take a look at Jamie Drysdale and Jake Sanderson. Now, right off the bat, I've been doing these versus between draft prospects. We already did Tim Stützle versus Quentin Byfield for the Los Angeles Kings pick. I just did one talking about the Anaheim Ducks with Lucas Raymond and Alexander Holtz, who may be the best winger outside of Lafreniere. And then, now we're going to take a look at the top defensemen, as you've got Jake Sanderson from the United States and Jamie Drysdale from Canada. Left shot defenseman versus right shot defenseman. We'll be looking at all of that in this video. Now, for argument's sake, I really don't believe, unless Drysdale goes in the top four, maybe the Sens or the Red Wings, I think you're looking at the New Jersey Devils, the Anaheim Ducks. I think they're going to be selecting forwards with their draft picks. So we're looking at the Buffalo Sabres, as they're really the only other team that I could see in that top 8 that's even possibly looking at a defenseman. So we'll be taking a look at that in this video. All right, so we're going to take a look at Jake Sanderson to start things off. For the United States, he's from Montana. He's 17 years old, 6'1", 185 pounds. He's a left shot defenseman. This past season in the U.S. National Development Program, he was the captain, 29 points, 47 games played. So he had a pretty impressive season, over a point per game. Now, it's nowhere near the same level as like an SHL or a DEL, but still a pretty solid competition in his own age group. So he played pretty well. Now, some of the coaches have been talking very highly about Jake Sanderson. Comparables from his coaches: Seth Jones, Charlie McAvoy, Noah Hanifin, Zach Werenski. I mean, we're talking about some really high-profile NHL players, and Jake Sanderson has the projection to be one of those those top-tier American defensemen in the future. So now we look at Jamie Drysdale. Jamie Drysdale is from Toronto, Ontario. He's 18 years old, 5'11", 175 pounds. He's a right shot defenseman. He played with the Erie Otters over the past 2 seasons in the OHL. In 2018-2019, he put up 7 goals, 33 assists for 40 points in 63 games in Erie last year. In 2019-2020, as the assistant captain of the team, 9 goals, 38 assists, 47 points in 49 games played. So almost a point per game in the OHL as a defenseman. That's pretty solid. And that's what we're really getting out of Jamie Drysdale. He is an offensive defenseman. And this is the guy that you're really looking at if you want a offensive defenseman. This is your guy that you're looking at. His creativity in the offensive zone is deadly, comparable to Jake Gardiner. And that's really what you're looking at here in a guy like Jamie Drysdale. So you may be looking at a scenario where, you look at the two, Jake Sanderson and Jamie Drysdale, and you're comparing the two of them. Jake Sanderson, considering he is a year younger than Jamie Drysdale, may be more equipped for the NHL next season compared to Jamie Drysdale, who is a little bit on the smaller side and a much more offensive-focused defenseman. And if you're looking to make an NHL team, those coaches are very critical of the rookie players. And if you can't play a two-way game, it's much more difficult for you to play in the NHL. So it's going to be important for Jamie Drysdale specifically to make sure that he is good in the offensive zone and he's a threat up there. And he's also able to stay in his own end and be a dependable defenseman, because he's not listed as a forward. Even forwards have to play a good two-way game at this time in the NHL. So it's very important that Jamie Drysdale can play both ends of the rink. That's the one downside to Jamie Drysdale. And he reminds me a lot of, like they've been saying, Zach Werenski. I think he's a perfect match in terms of what you're getting in a guy like Jake Sanderson. We'll see how that works out. If the Buffalo Sabres pick him, one of the top play-in round teams gets him more than likely. I think, who are we going to see first? If it's going to be the Ottawa Senators or the Detroit Red Wings early, it's going to be Jamie Drysdale. And once we start to get picks 9, 10, 11, and both of them are still available, don't be surprised if a team takes Jake Sanderson instead. Based off of his frame, he's a little bit bigger, and he's not as much of a liability in his own end. And I think teams may look at that as a downside to Drysdale. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here at the draft. So let me know in the comment section down below, based off of what we talked about, off of what you know, what do you think of the debate between Jamie Drysdale and Jake Sanderson? Leave in the comment section down below. And if you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.